Well, good evening, Acadiano. Welcome to Higher Thought with Nate A.
And Mo.
Hey!
What it do, Acadiana? How we doing tonight? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We've been doing the bi-weekly thing.
Bi-weekly.
We've been going both ways on our weeks.
Right.
Because we've been working so much, honestly.
Right. Jesus, God Almighty. The work has just been like work.
Lordy. And I tell you what, we pull up articles from time to time to talk about on the show. And the other day, I was reading this particular article, and I fell asleep while doing it. So it was an article actually about the benefits of napping.
Oh, yeah. I am down for
I know
a
you're a
good
big
nap.
napper. I know you're a
down
big
for
napper. So, and this is actually a scientific article, talking about how long you should nap.
How long should you nap?
How long do you nap, Acadiana, and when do you nap?
Okay, when I was younger.
After school?
No.
Or no nap?
No. I would take a nap at lunch.
Okay.
And what I would do is I would slam a bunch of coffee, then go take a nap and sleep that 40 minutes worth of lunch break.
Okay.
And then about the time the caffeine had kicked in, my alarm went off.
And you're already awake.
Yeah.
I would think that you'd even have some trippy dreams at that point.
It was was it lucid?
Like you were
dreaming?
running in your dreams.
There was things going on in my
Is that a
dreams,
good
yes,
run?
sir.
No. So, let's see. We got the 10 to 20 minute nap.
Right.
That's just like closing your eyes for a second, right?
There's no napping.
That's
involved.
called the power nap. The power nap,
Power
right?
nap.
And I mean, I would almost even call it a cat nap.
Yeah, 10 to 20 minutes isn't a real nap.
But it's ideal for a boost of alertness and energy, experts say. This length usually limits you to the lighter stages of non-rapid eye movement, sleep, and making it easier to hit the ground running after waking up. 30 minutes, some studies showed this long may cause sleep inertia, a hangover like a groggy feeling that lasts up to 30 minutes after waking up, before the nap's restorative benefits become apparent.
Okay, what about people that nap for the 45 or more minutes?
Okay, well, the next one they got is 60 minutes.
Okay.
This nap is best for improvement in remembering facts, faces, and names. It includes slow wave sleep, the deepest type. The downside, some grogginess upon waking up.
Okay,
Because it's usually 90 minutes of sleep cycle.
Right, okay, so, see, 20 just does not do it for me because I never get...
To me, that rests my eyes.
Right.
Like when my eyelids are really heavy and it's just I feel a little more rejuvenated after I've just closed them for a little bit. But it's hard for me to avoid getting into that hour-long sleep or the 2 or 3 hour-long nap.
Oh, those are the bomb.
Yeah.
Those are totally
Or
the
when you
bomb.
go get home, go to bed at 4 or 5, and then you don't wake up until midnight, and you put your coffee on next day or whatever. And let me go back to bed. you know?
Now, see, it's right now, I'll go home, sleep for a couple hours, and then get up and do all my afternoon, evening foolishness, prep for the evening, and then I'm asleep by 2 o'clock, and the evening alarm goes off.
Signs that you're old.
Old people don't need
We've been
sleep.
doing the show for a couple years now. We started probably when I was 30 doing the wrestling show.
Back when you were 30,
You're one to
just
talk,
a
Jacob.
young man.
You're one to talk, Jacob. You're like a 40-year-old, 13-year-old looking guy.
I've been doing a show on LC for 8 years now.
8 years, which that's Jacob and
Jim, what's his name? Anthony. Paul. It's Paul.
Jacob
and
G.
Off the Wall with Jacob.
Off the wall. Y'all should come on.
I actually
our show
saw
sometime.
one of the episodes with the band playing behind you. That
Yeah.
was really cool.
Yeah, we need to get Smooth Ross on.
Hey, I can make it happen, man. My
But y'all
brother's
should
good the
come on.
guitarist.
We should do a crossover show.
We could do that.
we
could all
a little
have,
collab,
best
yeah.
Hey, we're all about the crossing over and the bi-weekly. I mean, we got part of the LGBT group right there. The B and the T. Yes,
I
indeed.
can't do that, Dave.
Yeah, well.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
for money, Dave.
yeah. Well, I'm sorry,
Well, you
Dave.
go to the shows over at the Bolt sometime, don't you?
man.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the drag series they had. They did a RuPaul.
Well, I mean, and
elimination round thing.
and of course we're talking to Jacob. He's off camera here. I mean, you can come say hi, Jacob.
Yeah, come around behind. Come around behind. No, when
That's right,
I
like
was
today.
in
Yeah.
in
Not
the
around the
scene
behind.
back in
Well,
Lexington,
not in the behind, around the behind.
around behind.
Yeah.
Yes. I used to like judge at drag shows.
Oh,
I
fun.
did a show on the college radio station, so I knew a bunch of people.
See, I'm just thinking he
and-
means like judges, and like he just stands there and judges.
Well,
Can't
no,
believe they're
it's
dressed
like-
Did you
that.
ever queen it up or what?
No. My job
never-
was
I've
to
never
see
dressed
who
like-
was presenting themselves in the
Yes.
best way.
Yes.
So it like a
around.
RuPaul drag race for
Well, plus they
the
usually lip sync the
1980s.
songs too, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you got to be.
Yes.
It's basically a lip sync battle.
Exactly.
For
Yeah.
But how-
like
how
gay and
well do you
flamboyant
pull it
and,
off?
Like
Yeah.
and dressed and
Just like-
makeup and
Right.
all that. Stuff.
Powerful.
And some of the ladies,
Usually they have different rating systems,
Kicked
like
ass.
like your makeup rating, your dance rating.
Miss
I think that's what they
Congeniality
do.
or
I mean,
something.
you were
Yeah.
a judge, right?
yeah, and you looked at performance, you looked at whether they were in sync or not, you looked at the
Yeah.
costume. Was it? Were they dressed in a way that brought the song? I mean, don't come out in a
Yeah,
cowboy
sure.
outfit and sing
then-
a torch song. I mean,
But Jacob, we know that you're somewhat kitty whipped. And so, like, were you doing like going to the shows before the girlfriend?
Yeah, well, see, okay, I realized long ago while my buddies are
that it
hanging
was the
out
best
with,
of both worlds.
yeah,
that
well,
you
well,
can-
my buddies are hanging out with
just
each
joking.
other. I hang out with gay guys and girls and get more girls. And when I-
2019, ladies and
There you
gentlemen.
go.
yeah, and so I was going to the gay bar before I was dating.
Because
my
you got all the
girlfriend,
girls going there because they
women
don't
there.
get hit on, right?
Exactly.
Right. They go there to dance.
Well, and then the trick is you actually don't hit on them, and then you don't seem thirsty,
They
and then
think
they want
think
you.
you might
Oh,
be
yeah.
gay, and like
Yeah,
it's
but
like
then-
okay, I can go shop
Yeah,
with them
yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe get a little booty on the side.
And I've been watching Project Runway, so I'm caught up, you know.
This guy.
See,
That's
we-
why he pulls in like these models.
Only
and
one
stuff.
now.
we didn't have,
Only
we didn't
one.
have
Only
this
one.
30 years ago.
But he
we
could.
were doing
He
it
could.
on the
No, I
fly.
can't.
It's
I'm not
potential
allowed.
energy.
I'm
It's
not-
potential energy, not kinetic.
No, you've got a plan. You've got a thing.
But
you gotta-
it's a fun spot. Both
Yeah.
patio and bar. Now, I think pretty sure
I've
this is a
I've
3-minute
even seen
commercial
you at a
for
show
both.
before.
Yes, that's right. I
Like,
bumped into you over
yeah,
there.
yeah. So I mean, shows.
I didn't see the other night.
Back then, we used to go see rock shows. You know, now
Yeah.
in 2019, people
We
just go see the drag shows.
and there was actually a cool
Now
combo.
we love the one where the
They had it at the
girls
Pearl,
did
the-
the burlesque thing.
Yes.
Oh,
they had
that
a
was
lot of
the
burlesque
bomb.
in
We
town.
went to what's the place that plays that usually has the lame-o acoustic emo-ish bands?
Oh, the on the strip. Boom Boom.
Oh, Boom Boom Room.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. the
they've-
burlesque
and
show.
they've had.
I love that
wasn't
fuzzy
it-
wall.
didn't
Yeah, I
we
think
see-
you will. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, I love those burlesque shows.
Yes,
But that's
indeed.
because they put it out there. They
But
got
it's art.
no shame in their game.
No
Yes,
shame in your game.
exactly.
That's how you perform.
Right.
That's how you perform, and that's what you see bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Here with
And
our
sometimes weekly, when
Sometimes weekly,
we're
yeah.
not being beat down by work.
Well, I'm sure.
by the
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, that's
So I was
it.
doing some research last night. You know that taxes are essentially voluntary, and that we basically it's written into the law that by participating in the system, we are volunteering to
I've
pay our
heard that,
taxes.
and the thing is, like, I heard
It's a
actually,
voluntary process.
But
The
if
McAfee
you
guy-
want to be employed,
well, if you want
you-
Social Security, essentially,
right? I mean, no.
Yeah.
If you want to be part of that engagement and being compensated for your labor in a legal way, then you are voluntarily entering this social contract
Yep.
Yeah.
with the government, with the state.
And,
where
and pretty
you-
much they are making it more and more difficult for you to live off of the state,
Right.
to where you can actually have a job, and like you can't live off the grid legally, just about nowadays.
Yeah, they're making it hard. But
They're
you-
making it harder, really.
But you can do a lot of cash or barter side hustles.
No doubt.
Just like, okay, we're not encouraging, ladies and gentlemen, but say people who are involved in illicit
Bitcoin.
product,
baby.
yeah, Bitcoin, right? You got
Or
you got your
Facebook's
wallet,
Libra coming up.
yeah,
I want
that you're not participating in the regular system, so you're taking on all the risk. and that risk
Well,
might
sure.
include
And they've had
jail
people take
time,
it
loss
to
of
like
money,
federal court
whatever.
before and win, and not have to pay taxes. However, they've had plenty of people go to court and lose. And
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes,
hey, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Nick Cage.
No, that's why he does
Not
all
Cage.
those bad
Nick.
movies.
Is it Cage? No.
I haven't heard about Cage. I know
I've
Wesley
seen him in a
Snipes.
lot of like low budget.
But
Nicholas-
most rich people
Nicholas-
don't pay taxes, and because
Well-
they have loopholes, and they put
Well,
them in
that's what you
foundations,
But
do.
see,
which are
they
tax-free,
followed
and they put them in offshore
information
banks,
from.
which aren't taxed.
Exactly.
And so,
Panama
He
Papers.
followed the same advice that Wesley Snipes did, and Nick is actually cranking out these cheap movies just to make enough money to pay off the federal government
Wow.
Maybe
for
Nick
the
Nolte?
for the time. No,
It's gotta be Nick
Nicolas
Cage because the dude, it is
Maybe.
a
Right.
crazy amount of movies he's in, like that you've never heard of.
Right, they
You know
don't.
he's,
I mean, they're
Francis
straight.
Ford
They're
Coppola,
straight to straight to
Redbox,
DVD.
or-
Red
yeah.
right.
What's that?
you know,
And-
he's a Coppola, like he's Francis Ford Coppola's
Oh,
kid.
Right.
yeah.
He
I mean,
went.
I
He
like-
went with that
It's
because
leaving Las
he
Vegas.
he didn't want to
Be
ride
known.
the name coattail.
At least,
and you
like,
got to
publicly.
respect that part.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm sure that got him plenty of roles.
Oh, totally.
Oh, of course. Who you know?
Man, I'll tell you what. That National Treasure is a fun movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, Cage has got some good
yes,
movies.
history and
I like the
heist.
one where he wins the lottery and like he's the cop.
Oh, he's got
Yes.
to split it with the chick, the waitress.
Well, he had like given her part of it. He said,
Yeah.
"I'll split the lottery ticket with you," because
Yeah.
he didn't have cash on him or something. That was a good one. Or the one where he, like the Elvis is jumping out the plane. I remember that
I
one.
like the
Oh,
one.
Con
What
Air.
was it? Number?
Yeah.
No,
No,
no, no,
it's a
no,
different
no.
one.
That's Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving
No,
the- well,
No,
but
that
Con Air
no,
was
Leaving
okay,
Las
too.
Vegas was
Gone
the
in
drunk
60
with
seconds.
Yes, that's a good
Yeah.
That
one.
was a good one.
Now,
Oh,
Con
man.
Air was good.
Con Air was cool.
Yeah.
He was a horrible Ghost Rider, though, wasn't he?
But that movie suffered from so many different problems.
Yeah.
That movie is like you can't even
And
though
Ghost
it's-
Rider is such an awesome character. Too.
Right.
I know, but man, that movie's bizarrely bad.
Well, it's like now Marvel's doing Cosmic Ghost Rider. And so, like, yeah.
No,
It's like an
that's
intergalactic
garbage.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
like
that's
Silver
garbage.
Surfer, but a motorcycle.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's like got like some kind of like cosmic beam or
Dude,
something
I'll
like that.
shell out $10 for just about any of that crap.
Well, I mean, like they did part of it on The Shield. I don't know if you ever watched that show.
No, I never watched it.
It's actually not bad. It's not bad at all.
That's what I've heard.
I mean, it got progressively
Well, see,
worse.
back to watching.
It got
because
progressively
you
worse
don't
throughout
watch.
the seasons and like more far fetched and away from the MCU. But like
Yeah.
it was like pretty much tied in with the MCU and like they had some of the movie characters and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
I feel that way about Star Trek, especially, man. Like,
Oh.
any Star Trek. I
Right.
haven't watched the newest one yet.
No.
Which actually the newest
the one that's on
Discovery-
CBS.
Yes,
right,
All Access
Right,
or whatever.
and it's not.
Did you?
No, because it's not being streamed by.
Well, you have to pay
Right. Well.
$6 a month. Or
Okay.
whatever. Man, I'm gonna
no,
do it. I keep putting
legally
it
you pay the $6 a month,
Ah,
whatever, but you find streams
Yeah,
of various things, and that's one I have not found a stream for. I'd watch it just to
off.
get
I
a
know,
feel.
man. I need to.
I mean,
I'm
because
gonna buy
bef-
it and I'll give you my
but
password.
before I kick the cash down, I want to feel for what's coming
When
my
you've heard
way.
Tarantino has a Star Trek
Yes.
script,
Yes.
and like,
Does he now?
yeah, he wants to do the next Star Trek.
Like, not direct it, but use his script.
I think do everything.
No
like,
way.
Use his script and direct.
What?
It's basically going to be Pulp Fiction in space.
Oh my god! Did y'all watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Oh, man,
I haven't seen
loved
that
it.
yet.
I loved it. I thought it was stellar.
I figured
I
I'd wait
caught
on
a
DVD.
mediocre stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Saint, which was nice.
We actually went to the
And-
movies and saw it, and then went again the next week with a buddy because we liked it so much.
Really?
Yeah,
I'd
dude.
like to see it.
When it comes
but
out on Redbox,
I
or
heard it was a
whatever,
lot of dialogue, so I
It is.
figured like, okay, dialogue. I'd rather sit and watch that at home.
Yes, and it's long, but you don't notice. But if you have to pee, you still have to pee. But it's two
But
and a half
you-
hours,
right,
and it
but you
feels
can
like
pause
90
it.
minutes.
Well,
It's
after
like-
you sit through Avengers, like for
Yeah,
3.5
it's not
hours,
that.
you know.
The
No,
funny
the
thing
Once
is,
Upon
it's
a Time
almost
in
that long, but you
Hollywood
don't notice,
is
dude.
the thing that me growing up in BFE, Kentucky,
Yeah.
you know, thinking of Hollywood,
Yes.
and the idea of all the shenanigans they
Yeah,
got
man.
into, and that movie was
It was
what
that.
what
like-
was in my mind back in the 70s.
Yes.
Of what Hollywood was.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I
just
couldn't tell you.
really
I mean, I
loved
wasn't alive.
You
in the
weren't
70s.
alive then, right? Well, that's because I'm old, dude.
Aren't we all? I mean, we all take naps at this point in our
Right.
lives.
Well, that's how come I've
because
gotten
it's
this
good for
old.
your heart, people.
It is good for your heart. I don't even think I mentioned that part. And I figured.
That's the point of the
Well,
study.
it
It's
lowers
like-
our blood pressure.
Well, we said some of the
Something.
benefits of like
Makes you
each
smart.
level of nap. It was a whole like study and article.
So what if I
with some
take each nap?
details.
What if I take a 30-minute and then a 45 and then
On
an
top
hour?
of each other?
Yeah,
Well,
can I
then
stack
that's
them?
like 3 hours.
I'm gonna stack naps.
It's all about the 90-minute sleep cycles. You feel more rested
Yeah.
once you wake up from the REM.
My buddy had an idea for like years ago, and I think they actually did it where you get like a watch that monitors
Your sleep cycle,
and
yeah.
so it'll wake you up when it's a
Or
good
so
time
you go to
wake
sleep
up.
at a decent time
Yes,
to where if
lay
like
down
you have
now,
to
it's
wake up
like-
at 6 o'clock in the morning, that you have to go to sleep
Yeah.
at these increments of time in order
Right.
to feel
It's
rested
pretty
and
smart.
fully rested in the morning.
No, it's like most nights I'll try to go to sleep by 1. I generally will
Yeah.
spend 35, 45 minutes talking to Xana before I go to bed. And then I really try to go to sleep.
You're old school. You talk on the phone for 45
Yeah,
minutes.
well, we
Wow.
Skyped for a while, but
I text.
texting
Any mutual
doesn't.
masturbation or? I mean,
Tune in
nobody's
next
watching.
No, teledil.
Everybody's watching football, right?
Teledildonics is the trick.
All
I
right.
like that. That's a study.
But try to go to sleep, and then at 5:30 my first alarm goes off, which I promptly
Well,
Oh,
then
yeah.
get
right,
rid of
and
it.
then it goes.
That is
every,
a waste of an alarm.
no, because it turns my brain on saying, "Hey,"
I got 2 of them
And
that
then
start at 5:11.
it go-
I don't get up till 6:11.
and then it goes off at 5.
I gotta
it
figure
goes
out
off
which
at
one it is.
Oh my
5:45.
god! What about the
Then
one
it
that you
goes
have
off
to
at
solve?
6
I
o'clock.
would
Seen
hate
that one?
I would hate to sleep with me.
Oh.
Like, during the
I'd hate to sleep with you too.
Well, I mean, just
I mean, you
like
burp and fart.
turn
as
that
it is.
freaking alarm off, you piece of crap.
I like the one where it's like a math problem. You get up and you have to solve it before it goes off. Then
I
you
like that.
Oh, well,
the
there-
springboard
there's
bed
the
that
one
shoots you
where
out.
you get one snooze that you can smack it
Yes,
or throw it,
and then it's-
and then after that, it just will not shut the up.
That seems like you're gonna break it soon.
No,
let's-
but it's designed to
test
be
this theory
slammed
real
against
quick.
the wall.
1 in 5 Americans can't name a single branch of the American government.
Oh, for
Jacob,
fuck's
go.
Wait, there are 5 branches. Okay, so you want me to name
No, it's
all
1
of
in
them,
5
or
of Americans can't name any of
executive,
the branches.
judicial, legislative.
Hey!
Because we're a 3-ring circuit.
Hey, so right here we got 3 people that know the 3 branches. So there are like 15 dumb mother effers out there right there that don't know it.
Not y'all watching, y'all.
But
know.
not our audience. Of
Oh
course.
no, you people got your stuff together.
It's those other people.
So needless to say,
Them.
America, the
Them.
government has noticed this and they're kind of appalled by it. So they're dumping all kind of money into civics programs.
Yeah, you would think that would be like more of a thing. Like, hey, this is like the system we live in.
Dude, I actually
Make it like
live
fun
it.
to learn.
The
Yeah,
kids
that's
don't
right.
know their dang rights. They want their rights to be told to them. You know,
Yeah.
And basically, like I even had a situation where like create your own utopia government.
Ooh.
And
be
ultimately, they all pretty much chose slavery for the most part. Whether it was
Yeah.
debt slavery, giving everything over
Right.
to the king, you know, and it's because that's what they know. You
Yeah.
know? And you
Yeah.
don't know
Well-
what true freedom is.
When they
Wow.
say I know my rights, and it's like, okay, tell me what
They
your
know the
rights
first
are.
2 amendments. That's it, and they don't even know them well.
Right.
Yeah. This is high school age, middle school age?
High school
High school
for me.
age. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
teens.
I did
Yeah.
teach Louisiana history to 8th graders, and you
That was
had
one of
to
my
you
favorite
had to go
classes.
through the transition from being French to being absorbed. I'm sorry, purchased by
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
Then the transition of bringing the Yankee Baptists into North Louisiana until they were enough to counterbalance the Catholics in the South.
Yeah.
Right? And then we did your regular civics, and you included a little economics, how they tied it.
Hey,
Oh my
we
God!
got
we got
Joe!
somebody
Here,
on the
I'll come back.
phone.
All right, Jacob.
Love the show, guys.
Good evening.
How's everything in TV there, fellas?
Oh man, we're having a good time. How about you?
Oh, I love Lucy.
I noticed in you, yeah. I noticed the mosquitoes are killing people up north, but they're not killing anybody.
Oh, that's because those Yankees are weak.
Them skeets. Skeet, 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 skeet.
The Yankee blood is a weak line of DNA. We used them for experiments already. That's how we came out with couillons.
There you go. Eastern equine encephalitis. That's the triple E. And it's killing them because they get bit by a mosquito. We breed tough down here.
That we do, my friend.
It's resistant. As many times as I'm sure you've been bit, and we've all been bit in the bayou, you probably don't bug you none. You're just used to it. West Nile, no problem. Have another coffee, why not?
Exactly. Make sure it's a dark roast.
There you go, sir. I haven't seen y'all in about a good 6 months. Y'all are doing a good job.
Yeah, we haven't heard from you in about that long either. We've missed your voice. Has there been any noticing of what, the Cajun monster out there, or
The dog man?
the dog man?
The dog man. Okay.
I found out some disturbing news about the dog man, but I'm going to warn some of you listeners. If you're going to go find them, I know where they live. You know where Morgan City is, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's not surprising.
Okay, there's an island. There's an island below Morgan City called Dogman Island. Now, if you got guts, you go out there. I know they live there. I'm not going.
You know
There
what?
you go. You,
We ought to make a trip. Have a
go to
little
Dogman Island.
viewer visit to Dogman Island.
I mean, are these frisky dogs? Dog men?
Oh, as long as they don't hump my leg.
I mean, I don't want these dog men humping my leg. Yeah, this is what I'm getting at.
well, if you can stand a dog that stands on his back leg like a werewolf weighing 450 pounds, 7 foot high.
Oh, well.
Okay, so the dog would have its way.
Yeah. I'm not interested in dancing with the big dog like that.
Dances with a swamp dog. Why not? But if you want to get in trouble, the port boat authorities, they have patrol boats. They know they live there, but I'm surprised no one's ever caught one of them and say, here's my K9 dog, Cletus. You like him? Let him take off your tires and blow your truck off right quick. Okay.
That's something, man. We're going to have to look into that.
Well, and I tell you what, last week we had our little, anniversary, 18th anniversary of 9/11. So, of course, things have changed quite a bit in the last 18 years.
Right,
An
because some
article I
people
have
did
here.
some things.
An article I have here is saying that the United States has spent, since 9/11, $6 trillion on wars that have killed over 500,000 people. So, among what else would you say are some of the changes that you've lived through in the last 18 years? Is the state just growing out of control? And we are definitely getting some feedback.
They spend those, if you look at the dark government, okay, the dark government that they never tell you about.
You mean the shadow oligarchy?
It's not an oligarchy. There are those people that work to maintain the system. And you call it the shadow government or whatever you want. But they're the ones that provide the continuity between Republicans and Democrats, radicals and...
The New World Order.
Somebody's got to know how to fill out the right forms. That's your shadow government.
Shadow. The president is not allowed to go, they have all these whistleblowers that tell you everything about the dark government. They live underground, and underground caves, the cave system under the earth, and you probably won't see them for 10 years. When the nuclear war's over with, they'll say, well, let's go plant some corn. Why not? Some hemp?
Well, they essentially fund both sides of the war.
There you go.
This is the Federal Reserve here that we're talking about, and they're basically taking control over all the banks, and they run all the corporations and own all the governments. And the CIA, which is one of their branches, will essentially, go and take out any kind of leader that's not, playing ball with what they want for their new one world system.
Not, yeah.
But you can never have world peace unless you have a world government fall, huh? Maybe they're doing on this all by chance
Wait,
to
world
get
peace?
us to that.
So, do we have peas that are enough to feed the whole
World
world?
peas, yeah.
World peas. Like you put them in a blender and spin them around?
That's when, like, the basically our Earth becomes a universal toilet.
Ah,
And
well,
it's-
aren't we close?
Earth peas.
And don't forget that now the mark of the beast, that's coming.
Oh, well, sure. They've already got the RFID chips, and, you know,
Right,
we need
well-
a new financial system more to get away from this, you know, petrodollar.
Well, that's going to be
Which I-
screwed. Saudis are going to get that site back up and running.
And
quick.
caller, yeah, we're feeding back a little bit. If you got your TV turned up, if you could turn that down, that helps a lot with the feedback.
There you go, sir.
Cool, cool.
Oh, beauty. Much better. Clear as a bell.
There you go. Thank you. You know something? I worked as an armored car driver. I used to haul money for the state of Louisiana in armored cars.
Really?
I've seen. Oh yeah, and the banks are all the federal money that comes from the Fed, they took that away. I called President Trump and talked to his secretary and told him to go and get the Fed and take the Fed away from all those people.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, the Fed doesn't belong to the Rockefellers. It does now, but it should belong to you and me.
Actually, it belongs to the Rothschilds, the richest family on earth that nobody knows about.
Yeah, but it's here. They
Okay.
took it away.
The thing is-
1923, they said, we'll take the Federal Reserve and give it to the Rothschilds.
Okay.
Didn't know nothing.
The one thing, if we can extract the Rothschilds from it, having a body that helps regulate the value of the cash and the flow in the economy that's not directly tied to the political powers
Is against our
is a good-
Constitution.
No, it's a good thing. I can
American and American
When you can-
presidents, they try to seize an opportunity. If they would take away the Fed from those people that they don't deserve to have it, you know the World Bank runs everything, wars. You know that.
Well, they
Why don't they
finance
go out-
everything. When you control, and Nathan Rothschild said it himself, with, you know, basically when you control a nation's money supply, you care not who makes the laws because you run that country.
right.
When you control the money, you control the country.
Look at what they've done as world leader bankers. Look, they've made countries go bankrupt and cause starvation and drought, and they do what they want. They give money. There shouldn't be a war in Afghanistan. I'm a veteran. I used to, man. Our motto was, "We're going to nuke Russia, nuke the dadgum Russian," and now it's getting closer.
A very good Google search to do is look at the banks that didn't have, or look at the countries that did not have Rothschild-run banks in the year 2000 before 9/11, and who did we go invade right afterwards? And you look at the countries, it is basically down to Iraq, it was Afghanistan, it was Syria, North Korea,
Right.
and ultimately our enemies of the state, right?
Yep. If you look here, if you look at some of the bad deals, the people that spend the money, that's where you need to go. Like Bill Clinton, he sold top secret missile technology to China so they can have better missiles, so they can point them suckers and hit a beer can at 15,000 miles, you know, our technology.
Well, and another interesting read that I found the other day is ultimately, and I can try and pull up the article. I've got it. I know I've got it buried here somewhere. But basically, our Constitution has been null and void since 1933, and we have no protection. We have no rights because ultimately the president has the right to be able to declare a state of emergency, and when we do that, he has presidential power, and basically, as our dictator, can do whatever he wants. Therefore, the Constitution is null and void.
You've been doing your homework because that's when they started the taxing the American people in 1933.
Actually, no. It started in 1913, whenever the Federal Reserve was brought in under, their puppet Woodrow Wilson, and they brought in the Federal Reserve and the IRS, created the IRS, and started taxing our income, which is another unconstitutional thing.
Did you look this up
on Google when they actually stole the Federal Reserve? They met on Christmas Eve and voted to take away the reserve. It was backed by gold, but now so just give it to the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds.
And all of the gold that we have is disappeared. Like there's no gold in Fort Knox.
You don't think there is?
Apparently not, from what I've heard or read, I suppose. But I mean, apparently, like we gave away, and that's part of it. Like if, they have a lot of stuff on this. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I could find this. But ultimately, is this Senate Act, and basically, it existed us, and we became basically they declared war on the people, and that's when they started putting all the chemicals and stuff in the water. That's when they started, putting the pesticides in the food, and that's when and I mean, basically, it's just a war on the people.
Sure, the New World Order. I mean, I have books. I gave these books chemical fluoride. It really scared me. They you know what they do?
It kills the pineal gland.
Exactly, fluoride. That's not natural fluoride. That's chemical fluoride. They're putting hydrofluoric acid in your water.
Without the people's knowledge. Like, here, let me put some medicine in your water that the dentists recommend. Right. Kind of like what the Nazis were doing. And all those Nazis pretty much came and got a free ride here in America right afterwards, right?
Yep, and I got some water. It was about a month ago. I boiled my water down. I left it burning. I came back. All the water was boiled out, but there was a white powder in my pot. And I scraped it. It's about with a playing card. It's all fluoride powder. In the bottom of my pot after I boiled it. I went to the mayor. He said, well, I don't know about none of that. Yeah, they don't know nothing because they're just as dumbass as the rest of them. They're all getting, pardon the French, but they're trying to kill us.
Well, here's the good news, though, is that we've got some people waking up. And fortunately, we've got shows like Higher Thought that not many people watch, but it's almost as if the universe makes people watch, okay, let me just randomly change the channel and what is this? I guess I'll watch it for a second, and then boom, a light goes off, and so it's kind of almost like I guess the truth finds you when you're ready.
I tried to do my best as a whistleblower. I got a whole complete packet I printed out on fluoride and dangers and handed it to the mayor, and I never heard nothing. They don't want to deal with it. They just want to keep it fluoridated so we'll all be nice and dental clean and be stupid as hell.
And complacent and dumb and, you see it in our education system. Have you ever taken a look at one of, the tests that they had to take? Like a high school test even in, the 1940s or 50s? It's pretty hardcore, and it's just amazing the descendants.
Well, there's a difference between memorizing facts and being able to cut apart an issue and describe, explain, postulate outcomes or stuff.
Well, and I don't know if you have Netflix, so, I watched an interesting documentary series or whatever, and it's called The Family.
Right.
And it's basically kind of about this, secret organization that puts on, the National Prayer Breakfast, and it is the world's most powerful politicians coming together to talk about Jesus. And so, basically, they use Jesus as the cover for them to have backroom deals at these meetings.
Really?
And so it's very interesting, and but basically, it is going to lead to where it's going to be these people that are chosen by God to be leaders that are going to rain down this moral code on the entire world, and all the gay stuff, all the stuff that basically goes against the moral code of Christianity is going to be frowned upon by the state.
Right.
And, ultimately you're going to have to re-educate yourself and go to a camp to re-educate yourself.
But what if you don't like camping?
I didn't think it was possible, but I was reading about when the tribulation comes that all of Satan's power is going to be turned loose, and all the demonic power is going to be on our level, and they're going to possess the unsaved people, and they're going to come after you and me.
Yeah, but I mean, to even take it one step further, yes, but they are bringing us to the darkness and brink of destruction. But could they be doing this because we need the human progression of us awakening as a species to like what truth is, what equality is, that we are all one, that we all come from one, and money is a bunch of BS. And let's be okay there, buddy.
Having a hard time.
A lot of people like us
containing-
are awakening to this like BS that's going on in the world. That everything we see on this idiot box of a screen is, it's killing us.
There is no God. People are fucking evil, and it's just the way things are.
Trying to program you. Yeah, they're trying to program Black Sabbath and
F
Ozzy.
word, but
Oh well, I'm sorry.
he's emphatic about his atheism.
Sure it is. They got people that don't. I talked to a Satanist the other day. He says, we don't believe in God. We don't believe in Satan. We only believe in the magical fairy power of nature.
Well, right. Well, and I mean, I think people just have a misconception of what God is, I mean, if anything, God could be, the source of the Big Bang from, where we all come from, and that we're all basically made of stardust.
Big Bang, huh? That's-
Whatever. I mean, the best answer to God theories is, I don't know, ultimately.
The Big Bang. I mean,
And I
if you-
respect
if
whatever
you wanna
crazy
tie
theory
the Big
you have.
Bang to the Bible. That's when God looked
Created
upon
the
the face of
universe,
nothing, and then created the universe. There's your Big Bang right there.
What day do you think the first day of him creating the universe? If it were a day in the Gregorian calendar here,
Okay, if we're gonna use contemporary days,
Yeah.
I would say Thursday.
Well, I mean, what day of the year, though?
Oh,
I'm thinking March 21st, which is the first day of spring, right? Maybe?
maybe.
I don't know.
I think it was just one of those.
It's far-fetched, but let's listen to our caller real quick.
Adam and Eve is only 6,000 years ago.
No.
Yeah, and all these scientists are saying, no, this dinosaur is 110 million years old.
Oh,
That's a
Jesus
cock-
fucking
cock-
Christ.
Quit
Seriously?
cussing, bro.
I'm sorry, it's just, this is not.
Block of keys. It's like Stonehenge, Stonehenge has been there for how long? But you know what? I'm going to let you have
Is
your
it
farm.
aliens?
Aliens, yeah. Aliens, sure. Grays. The abductions happen every day on this planet. You know that.
Well, have you heard the conspiracy of the false flag alien attack coming?
I haven't heard that one.
It's just
Well, that the government has apparently built their own UFO type aircrafts.
No,
and
that's cool.
yeah, and,
Right.
basically, they want to stage a world alien attack, which will bring all of the world together, and it'll be a world crisis, and we all come together as one, and blah blah blah.
Kumbaya.
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 New world order.
The
You need to tell the people to resist, just like that's what your main point is. How is it, you don't have enough people. People want to resist, and what do they resist against? They're afraid. That's what they're doing. They're dumbing people down to make them, don't you cross us. We're the United States government. We'll come in and take away your tax form and take away your pet dog, Winky.
that dog Winky. Oh,
And that's
man.
why I love this caller, right?
No, the thing is the Air Force just admitted about 3 interactions with they won't call it a UFO, they use another 3-letter acronym that is documented on film, and it leaked out into the public, and they can't explain what it is or how it happened, except that there it is.
UAOs, I think.
UAO?
UAOs. I think it's unidentified aerial object.
Ah.
I'll look that up on Google, bro. A lot of those people, they're people that are in the military. They want you to know what's going on, even if they'll.
Actually, I have a story on that one too. UFOs posted by Blink 182 are real, and UFO videos posted by Blink-182 are real and never should have been released. Navy confirms.
There you go.
That sounds like Edward Snowden's revelation.
Well, they're out there. Apparently, I mean, there's tons and tons of film on it. You know, I mean, like, so what are these things? It's either some kind of military plane that they're not telling us about, or, you know, there's some aliens kind of checking out what's going on. You know?
Right. There's the ones that come down to the water and then submerge.
And they can, they're all shifty and stuff. Like, planes almost hit them and stuff, and they're able to get out the way.
Right.
Yep. You remember President Eisenhower? You probably weren't born, but Eisenhower made a treaty with the aliens in 1954, the Greada Agreement. If they will not capture humans and use them for food, then we'll trade technology. But the aliens just kept on going and broke the treaty. They keep abducting people and eating them.
Well,
You
I
know,
don't know which one of these
all
is
the
right.
spirits have to have a body. So look what you got. You got green aliens that have bodies that have to produce.
well, green eggs and ham. We got plenty of people. If they're not eating me, I'm fine. If they're eating Billy Bob down the road that lives out in the middle of the bayou, fine by me.
So did y'all realize that the forms of modern slavery still exists?
Yes.
So, basically, the most popular form of slavery nowadays, we're all a part of, is debt slavery, debt bondage.
Oh, I thought it'd be sex slavery.
Well, the world's most widespread form of slavery, when people borrow money they cannot repay and are required to pay to work to pay off the debt, then losing control over the conditions of both their employment and the debt.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is slavery. That's definitely mind control and slavery. You know, did y'all ever mention the fact that they're hitting us with microwaves? And I've read that. For
5G
5 years.
revolution.
Exactly.
Yeah, what's going to fry your brains, make you a zombie?
It is basically a
Well,
military weapon. It's radio.
You hurry up and die so that they don't have to pay out.
They
the
can
social,
kill you slowly.
They don't have don't have
Plant a
to pay
little
out
cancer
the
in that ass.
Social Security and Medicare.
Plant a little cancer in that. Oh, that guy's disturbing. Like Walton
if
Johnson.
you
the
die
dude died.
before you're 60, they can't put a claim on any of the social services.
I'm sorry, brother. Governor Edwards, I talked to him. I got a chance to talk to him. I said, you need to go to Washington and ask President Trump for money to cover the state's debt. Guess what? 2 weeks later, he was in Washington, and he got $2 billion. But we need more. I mean, Louisiana produces
It just
a lot of oil and
disappears.
gas. You know, money
Right.
doesn't make everything pay. Why not?
No, the natural gas thing kicks ass because before
Natural gas kicks ass.
all they were doing was
Fracking
just
and earthquakes, baby.
burning it off in the flare stacks, and instead now they're capturing the gas, purifying it somewhat, and then compressing it and shipping it off.
Kind of like your asshole.
Well, yeah, I do that, and then when
Well, it
I-
compresses the
all right,
gas and,
I've
like, it,
compressed it, and then the next thing you know, it's like,
Yeah. You like red pepper? Of course you do.
of course I do. I love my food twice.
Welcome to New Orleans. Hey, thank you.
Yes,
Look here,
sir.
fellas, I enjoy your program. I want to let you go and listen to y'all talk. Thank you.
We appreciate it, caller. Thanks for calling in, man.
Bye now.
And that was actually one of our longer calls. But hey, we hadn't heard from you lately.
Yeah,
You know?
well, we've had to be bi lately, so work has
Weekly.
bi-weekly.
Show
right?
up to the show bi-weekly. Let me just clarify there.
Well, at some point, we're going to get back into the rhythm of weekly.
Funny headline here
Uh?
from the New York Times.
Oh, well, when you said funny headline, I thought they
Well, I thought it was funny.
Okay, well, I thought
let's
they
hear
might
the
have been
headline.
talking about your mama, but when you said New
Oh,
York,
headline, right.
yeah,
CIA says
the
that
rim job, you know.
the CIA says that it's found no link between itself and the crack trade.
Oh, yes, I can absolutely guarantee
I can tell you, we were
that-
not involved.
Right, I was not involved in that armed robbery over at,
The Iran-Contra thing, don't worry about that. You know, Rick Ross, forget him.
Nah.
You know? Oh man, that's so funny. FDA finds cancer-causing carcinogens. Wow, say that 10 times fast. Cancer-causing carcinogens.
I know, but
that sounds like a metal
but
band name.
Carcinogens means cancer causing. So
Well,
that's the Department of
it was
Redundancy
found.
Department.
It was found in
Okay.
some Zantac.
Zantac.
Zantac,
Is
very
that
popular
like
drug. Heartburn.
The heartburn medicine, yeah.
So FDA finds cancer-causing carcinogens.
Carcinogens.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah. Cancer causing carcinogens.
Who the F is Tool?
Tool?
Fans are freaking
Tool's a
out
band.
over unknown band dethroning Taylor Swift from the top spot on the Billboard 200 or
Wait.
100 or whatever.
Who's Taylor Swift?
You don't know who Taylor Swift is? That's like one
Was
of the-
she a Disney?
That's her picture.
Okay, what was her popular song?
She's got a lot of them. I don't know. I mean, she always like sings about like breakup stuff. Apparently, that's kind of her.
Okay,
spiel.
well then obviously
it's
that-
like she's a teeny bopper kind of
okay,
thing, you know.
and she's
but,
famous.
and she is number one. I think she's got like the most like YouTube views out of anybody or something like that. Her videos.
I thought, what's his name? The little Nas X with his country rap thing was number one.
Well, they got a lot of people over a couple billion views. A couple billion views.
Billion views. We're good if we get like 3.
I know, like, hey, Santa, how's it going?
Hi, Matt. Hey, what's
Matt.
up, Pete?
You know, hey, maybe me, like, in 2 weeks, like,
Right.
hey, check out my show. Like, let me put on an episode. So, I'm saying hi to myself.
Right. Well,
Let's see, developing
you're
a values.
looking good, young man.
Let's see, developing a values and principles system. Doing the propaganda game. Oh, that's actually something
propaganda.
that is a teacher game, and you get to play the propaganda game with the students.
How does that work?
Well, I can show. I talked about. The
No,
game.
that sounds interesting.
I know. I want to bring it in. Let's see, because basically what I kind of teach them about, like, hey, structure of government, and then like, oh, banking system, and boom, all BS. It's all BS. So I mean, it's just like a game basically where they gotta like look at different stuff and whether like what's propaganda, and they like have to learn some critical thinking stuff.
Ooh, critical thinking
Yeah.
skills. That kicks
Well,
ass.
I mean, for me, like one of the biggest, like the most influential high school assignment I ever got, and I think it changed me to a certain degree as far as my critical thinking ability, is I had an English teacher that made us research a conspiracy theory. He had like a list of 50 conspiracy theories. You had to pick your one, you know, and everybody in the class had to do a research paper and a report on it and all that good stuff. And, you know, I can't remember. I think I had maybe like Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, like all the suicides or
Right.
the drug overdoses.
Right.
You know, and so
Was that the 27 club?
the 27 Club, basically, yes, and just like how they were offed, you know,
Yeah.
because
Too influential in the wrong way
exactly.
for the status quo.
We already talked about fluoride in the water. Did you know a tomahawk range, throwing range, opened in Lafayette?
No, really.
Yeah, so you can go throw some tomahawks.
You know what? We ought to do that sometime.
I actually
just
saw
just
a
for
video.
the fun of it. I mean, I think I could borrow like a GoPro
Yeah,
where we could, you know, have either somebody hold it or set it on a tripod, and we could throw freaking axes.
my arm is.
I mean,
not what
would
it
they
used
be
to
able to like insert axe throwing video into?
I'm
them?
sure you can insert whatever
Yeah,
you want.
yeah.
I mean, like if we're talking your mom, at least.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about broad.
I love dog stories.
Oh, dog stories.
Dog stories. Okay,
Walking
so
like a dog.
a dog accidentally ran half a marathon after being let out for pee. And he actually finished 7th in the race. So he's just like, all right, everybody's running. Well, run with y'all. You know, I gotta go pee real quick. You know, finished 7th place. And like you can just see that guy running, like I'm gonna not let this fucking dog get me. Oh, stupid dog!
You're right.
Like probably trying to kick the dog, like that guy.
No.
Kidnapping could lower the risk of heart attacks. We already
Wait,
talked
kidnapping?
about Napping.
Oh, napping. Okay.
Well, I mean, like a kidnapping would lower his
Right.
risk.
No, when my kids took
I heard
a
there was a
nap, I
kidnapping at a school, but it's okay. He woke up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh!
The Joker. Man, everybody's lost their
wanna
shit over
see
the
it.
Joker.
I wanna see it.
And it's not even out yet.
Early October, though.
I know, but it's like,
Let
how
me
come
see.
they gotta lose their mind? I mean, when what's his name that died, Heath Ledger, when he did it, they lost their minds. So is it every
Well,
time?
Jack Nicholson, but I mean, like,
no,
people,
when Jack Nicholson did it, it
he was an
really-
awesome Joker.
I know, but it was a early comic book Joker.
Well, that was 1989.
Right, but if you think about the Joker's existence in the
Oh, well, as
cream of
far as the
comics-
darker Joker kind of
Right.
thing. Which, I mean, like, Jack Nicholson's Joker
Jack
was
Nicholson
dark for
was-
the 1989.
right, but it was more
was a Tim
of
Burton Joker.
a Sid Caesar. What was the dude?
The author, I don't
No,
recall
no,
the
the
name. I
dude
don't
that
recall
played the
name.
Joker in the TV show.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean as far as like the feel of the character, and definitely Heath Ledger took it a way darker place.
Right.
Jared Leto,
And they
boo.
look.
Which, not to his
Okay.
credit, he got like 5 minutes of airtime.
Are we
in
talking about
Squad.
Suicide Squad?
That's the only Joker he did, and it was like 10 minutes of the movie.
Right,
Maybe.
I enjoyed it. It was okay.
It was okay. I mean, but like I didn't
only
see
because it
anything
was
else.
built into the movie that was okay.
Which, by the way, they've already got the cast out for Suicide Squad 2. John Cena is going to be in it, one of the characters.
right.
How about this one? Bald guys are seen as smart, dominant, and just plain sexy.
Right.
A study says it, so that
Study
means it's
says it.
good.
Well, my lady friend likes bald guys, but she said that she's good with thinning hair.
Well, everybody likes the Jason Statham look.
Okay.
Not everybody. There's no blanket statement.
If I was buff and my head wasn't lumpy,
Right, like the alien.
my head is lumpy. It's not malformed. It's just not a chrome dome. It's not smooth. I mean, I got a divot. I
gotten-
think I was dropped on the head when I was a kid.
Right, that's very possible. I
mean-
can see that. I might have been as well. I ask some kids sometimes, like whether they ate paint chips as kids, or
Because it
or
tastes
if
like
you-
chocolate.
or if you like grew up under power lines, or.
Oh, growing up under power lines.
So do you know what state has the fastest growing marijuana market in the country?
Oregon.
Oklahoma.
Oh, where the weed comes sweeping down the plain, where the blood. Okay, so are they growing for other states? Growing for
No,
themselves?
they don't have to label their stuff.
What?
And like it doesn't have to go through like all the packaging and stuff.
Right.
Like they
It
don't
just says marijuana and
and like they can like put it on the jars and label it, but like they don't have to go through all the packaging laws and
Okay.
like the devious, over testing of
Okay,
everything.
cool.
Like, yeah, we're back for another test, man. You got another one of those.
does it save the consumer's money?
I would imagine so, but they say that Oklahoma is the wild, wild west for marijuana right now. That's yeah,
The Wild Wild West.
the weed west. How about this one? The Center for Nutrition Studies. The study shows that nobody needs milk,
Yeah.
and milk doesn't do a body good,
Yeah, well.
contrary to what we were told in the
Right.
80s.
I like a little half and half in my quadruple espresso in the morning. And I like cheese.
Oh, well, sure.
So
Well, I mean, that's not milk.
I know, but it's
technically,
milk. It is
It's
milk.
from the udder.
It's milk, but cheese.
Yeah, you gotta have cheese on just about everything.
Yeah.
And just about everything, and other than chicken, maybe. Unless it's a chicken sandwich.
A chicken parm sandwich.
Parm. Like Peyton Manning, didn't he do a chicken parm thing? Like, chicken parm, it tastes so good.
Alton Brown. Did
Speaking
a-
of which,
did a chicken
we've
parm
only got
last
about a
week.
minute left. I guess I got to get to this story.
Okay, go.
Very, very sad. Very, very sad.
Oh man.
Drew Brees Yes.
Oh, he blew himself up from the inside out, right?
Well, no, he hurt his thumb.
Oh.
And so we played the Rams last week, who got screwed us over and went to the Super Bowl because of the blown call from the ref, right?
Oh,
So
I
the
remember
refs
that. I
screwed
remember
us
that.
over again this past week. They called a touchdown back that should have been a touchdown, and they blew the play dead on a penalty or something like that, or it was a fumble that they called dead, and it was obvious it was a fumble, and they ran it back for a touchdown. We had to go back 80 yards, didn't get anything from it. And a dude ripped the Saints helmet off, punched him in the face, and didn't get even a penalty.
What?
So, yeah.
Which
So,
team was this?
This is the Rams doing this
The
to the Saints,
Rams.
and they hurt. Drew Brees hurt his thumb, which I might think is a conspiracy theory as well. But ultimately, we're about out of time.
Hurt his thumb.
Who dat?
He can't
We'll
get-
see
he
what
can't
Teddy
get a
Bridge
grip on
under
that
troubled
ball.
waters can do. Teddy
This
Bridge
is-
under troubled waters.
Yeah.
No, I mean I think it's got
I'll
a ring to it.
lay me down.
All right, good show. Good show. We're still streaming. U.S. Church allowed nude worship.
Hey. Hey, hey,
Ooh, this
hey.
is a cool story.
When in
Blind man-
doubt. What?
Blind man develops a smart cane that uses Google Maps to sensors and navigates the world. It's like a cane that has Google Maps.
right.
That's a great idea.
Right. As you come to a corner, it vibrates
It's
a certain
stop,
direction.
and
yeah.
then you can go now or go right. And
Okay. See, that's where technology's doing shit. Right?
I've been trying to get Williams on this. School sends kids to meditation instead of detention with amazing results.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Gotta be better than what we're already
they're
doing.
that in Europe, actually, in all the schools, they're doing some big old $1 million research program thing.